Good morning. Today is Friday, March 4th, and that's what I'm doing. I'm marching forth. Dad joke there. Day 13, and feel real happy with yesterday's 17.4, but who's counting, miles, and real encouraged by that. And I'd like to do a similar pace today. There is one bureaucratic snag. I'm gonna enter the Smoky Mountains in 2 days, and before I do, I need to get a permit at a ranger station, which is coming up in about 12 miles. Not quite sure how long that will take, so that could delay some things. Hiking the Appalachian Trail is completely free. Even my bag tag and registering, that was all free, but in going through the Smoky Mountains, it is a $20 fee. As I understand it, the Smokies are the most visited national park in the United States, maybe the world, but definitely the US. And so they, I think, try to do things to limit crowds. Although I thought it'd be crowded out here on the AT. I just saw my first person in like 18 hours, counting sleeping in a tent last night. So I just said hi to someone for the first time in hours. The woods are vast. So they try to limit people going through the Smokies. In fact, thru hikers only have 5 days to get through them. They're more or less like, all right, hippie, move it along. But I think I should get through the Smokies in 4 days, weather dependent. The weather's been beautiful, but I do have cold weather gear for the Smokies, like ice spikes to put on my boots and a liner that goes inside my sleeping bag, because despite the warm weather, the Smoky Mountains will be the highest elevation on the trail. So I want to make sure I'm warm enough. After I get through the Smokies, I'll either leave that gear in a hiker box or send it home so I can get lighter, because I don't think I'll need it again. Hey, I don't think you've seen this shirt. This is a gray shirt that I actually got this at the camping store in Franklin the other day. I had a similar base layer long sleeve shirt. And why did I get rid of it? Was it not moisture wicking? Was it not performing the way you wanted it to? It was just a little itchy. It was a little itchy, folks. So I got a new one. I'm feeling good. Because you gotta be comfortable when you hike, right? So sometimes I'm starting to struggle with stuff to talk about. Like, well, I walked yesterday. I'm gonna walk today. And tomorrow I'll walk. You go for hours where absolutely nothing happens. This writer, Bill Bryson, wrote a great book on the Appalachian Trail called A Walk in the Woods, which I recommend you checking out. And they asked him, they said, so like, with all that adventure, you must have had so many stories to tell. Like, how did you decide what to put in the book? He said, I put every single thing that happened in the book, because hardly anything happened. You walk, you eat, you sleep, you repeat. So he included every single thing in the book. That was a cool book that kind of inspired me to do this when I read it 20 years ago, when my college roommate Dave gave it to me. Thank you, Dave. I think I'm gonna see Dave, because he lives right off the trail in the Maryland section. So hopefully we'll have a little reunion there. Other books that have inspired me, one that I read before I left called Appalachian Trials by a gentleman named Zach Davis, I believe that's his name. That's a little more of a technical book, whereas Bryson's is kind of a humor and human interest piece. Appalachian Trials, the author proposes that only 10% of the hike is physical and 90% is mental. I can see that. Although these hills, they feel pretty physical. But yeah, I can definitely see that. And it was a really helpful book, kind of training your mind as well as, you know, the strategy of doing this. He's a fellow stoic, I think, that guy. Even though he doesn't state it, we can sniff each other out. So, and then for like the tactical side and gear to gear, the biggest prep work I did was watching YouTube. There's a lot on through hiking the Appalachian Trail, and you know, I didn't even know where to start. So what I did, you think I'm very original, but other people have done these little YouTube channels through hiking the Appalachian Trail. So what I did was follow 2 hikers that did it last year, and I should give them a shout out. The one young lady's name is Nantahala hiker. She's in her mid-20s and really put in the miles, huh? By day 1, I was like, wow, she did that. She was really impressive. And I liked her page because the videos were short and really well done. And then I followed a guy who's similar to my age, because I wanted to watch a YouTuber similar to my age and temperament. And this dude's YouTube page was Worth Hiking North, so you could check him out as well. And I've kind of modeled my outline of how I'd like to do this based on his through hike last year. All right, so that's about all. But I got to give a shout out to the people that came before me, right? Having fun, feeling good. Weather's just amazing, and I'll check in when I see something cool. By the way, that author Bill Bryson, who wrote the best-selling book A Walk in the Woods, he dropped out in the Smokies. Just saying. Got this observatory on top of a mountain. We'll see what the view is like from on top of it. Let me give you the full 360 view from up here. Pretty wild. I think I'm gonna have lunch up here. Sounds like as good a spot as any, right? Look at that view. There's that fire still going over there. Well, for the first time on the trip, I'm hot. My temperature gauge, which has decided to read Fahrenheit again, says it's 80 out. That 81 is going up. This, you can't trust this thing. But trust me, it's warm out. Jumpman. Nantahala Outdoor Center. Everyone refers to it as the NOC, the NOC. Big psychological checkpoint on the trail. I got my permit to hike the Smokies, and this is kind of a cool outdoors center. A lot of kayaking going on. A little restaurant. I was able to get a cabin for the night. That wasn't the initial plan, but I'm beat. All right, we'll check in. It goes right through this adventure center, right across these railroad tracks, and right up those steps. Here's my home for tonight. It's better than a tent, but just barely. Pretty cool restaurant, right on the Appalachian Trail. Sitting here, watching the river flow. And good night from the Ritz-Carlton.